Ever been stuck, like really stuck in that awkward moment? Your kid in public asks about someone with, bright green hair or something,
Oh, yeah?
and you're like dying inside, but also like, this is important, right? This is about raising kind kids. How do we even start?
It is. It's such a big question. Where do we even begin?
And that is exactly why we are diving deep today into 5 tips for teaching children about diversity, an article a listener sent in.
Great tips in there.
Yeah, really solid practical advice. And that's the goal here, right? Like, how do we actually use this stuff? So the article lays out these 5 main points: expose, model, encourage, celebrate, correct.
Roadmap. It's like a roadmap
Yes.
for raising inclusive kids.
I love that. A roadmap. So the first one, expose them to diverse cultures. It makes sense, right? Like books, music, food, all the good stuff.
It's the founding.
But so what's actually going on there? How does that actually impact, like, a child's development?
So it's more than just exposure, right? You're shaping a worldview. And research shows kids exposed early to different cultures are way more likely to accept and appreciate those differences when they're older. Builds curiosity, not fear. And that's huge, right? Because that helps combat prejudice.
Totally.
Think of this, growing up in a world where everything's the same. Everyone looks the same, acts the same. Then boom, you find a whole new community and they have different traditions, different way of life, everything.
Wow.
That's what we're doing, opening up those new horizons for kids. Early exposure to diversity shows them the richness of a multicultural world.
So powerful, right? Like, I'm picturing like upgrading from, I don't know, a black and white TV to like full-on surround sound. You're not just seeing different colors, you're understanding that those differences are what make it so vibrant.
Exactly.
Okay, next up is model inclusive behavior. And this one feels big, right? Like, it's one thing to say be kind, be respectful, but do our kids actually pick up on our behavior?
Oh, they're always watching. Always. Children are so perceptive, picking up on our actions even when we don't realize it. It's social learning theory. Like, they learn by watching us, imitating us.
Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, I tell my son to be kind and respectful, but then, I don't know, I make some comment about a neighbor's outfit or something.
He's going to notice that.
He's going to notice that.
Oh, yeah. Sends mixed messages. And listen, none of us are perfect. We all slip up. The important thing is to use those moments, even those slip-ups, as teaching moments. You make a mistake, you acknowledge it, you apologize if you need to, but you explain why some language or behavior can be hurtful.
So important.
Because it shows your kids that embracing inclusivity, it's a journey, not like a finish line.
It's being real, showing your values, even when it's hard.
Absolutely.
Okay, the next tip is encourage questions. And I gotta be honest, sometimes I dread those questions.
Right.
Especially when they come at, like, totally wrong. But this article makes it clear it's important, so help me out here.
It's natural for kids to be curious.
Right.
And those questions, even the ones that make you cringe a little, they're super important. They give you a chance to really talk openly and honestly.
Okay, so instead of, like, shushing my daughter when she asks why someone is speaking funny,
Yeah.
I should see that as a chance to talk about different languages and cultures.
Exactly. Create a space where they can be curious, ask anything, even if they're a little embarrassed by the question.
It's about having that open dialogue, right? Like, it's okay to not know something.
Exactly. It's about learning together.
Okay, the last 2 tips, they feel connected. Celebrate differences and correct stereotypes.
Totally two sides of the same coin.
Right.
Right. You're celebrating what makes each person unique.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're challenging those harmful stereotypes that lead to prejudice.
So it's not just about saying everyone's different, that's okay, we need to go further, address the root of the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like if a child says girls are bad at sports, you can counter that. Actually, there are so many amazing female athletes. Serena Williams, Simone Biles, incredible. Talent isn't about gender or race.
We're giving them the tools to actually challenge those assumptions, not just passively accept them.
Yes.
Wow, this is such good stuff.
It's a process, but even small changes can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. So we covered a lot, but I think the message is clear. Raising inclusive kids, it starts with us, being open, being intentional, and really leading by example.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And as you, the listeners, start this journey, ask yourselves, what's one tiny step you can take today, right now, to make your home more inclusive?
Love that.